Hi guys, we're testing out this new YouTube live streaming app again to see how it works for us. And we did a live stream the other night actually, but that was from the computer. We're testing this out again for a second time. It didn't work so well the first time. So thank you guys for joining us. How are you, Imabel?
I'm doing well, thank you. We just woke up actually, so I wonder if you guys are already getting ready for work, for school, or getting ready for bed.
If they're in America, they're getting ready for bed.
Yes, wherever you are, thank you for joining us.
So let us know, leave a comment, let us know how this sounds, how it looks. Our screen just went black. It says audio or video not available, so we can't really see ourselves. But let us know if you're getting a transmission, how it looks and how it sounds. Maybe we have the window right behind the phone, so to get in all this light. So maybe in this bright light, you can see where I cut myself shaving this morning. I cut myself really bad shaving.
Poor thing.
Well, I don't know if it's still bleeding. It's kind of hard for me to shave these areas because the whiskers, the way the hair grows, it grows like straight up. It grows kind of up. It doesn't grow down. It goes straight up. You know, a lot of guys, their facial hair all grows down. But a lot, like me, it grows in different directions. So, but my hair there, it grows. So it's because it grows up. When I shave down in this area, it's problematic.
We got comments from Brian Thompson. In the first one we missed, it's so fast. Peter, Tom, God, they just move so fast we couldn't even read the comments.
Yeah, with this app, like the comments pop up for like a couple seconds and then they disappear. So you got to be on top of things to see it.
Serrano, hi from Canada. Peter Rocco, you guys on a DSL connection.
I don't know what we have.
What's a DSL connection?
DSL
I think so. This is actually one of the higher internet packages
for the Philippines.
Yeah.
So for Philippines, we have fast internet. For other countries, super slow internet. And if you're going to be doing live streaming, which I love doing, of course, to me that's one of my favorite things to do on YouTube. You got to have that super fast internet. It's not designed for Filipino internet, that's for sure. But I'm looking in the mirror off over there. You can see maybe in this bright light where it's all red. Cut myself shaving so bad. So let's hope Dracula is not around. not the guy from Quantum Leap. Dracula. The guy from Quantum Leap is Bacula. So
Hidorogo said he's researching about the country, about the Philippines. When are you coming to the Philippines?
Yeah, when are you going to visit? Leave us a comment and let us know.
Well, the videos on this YouTube channel, I would say, will be very helpful to you because that's what we heard from many viewers, and that's really heartwarming to hear from them, that the videos have been helping them a lot. Oh, Peter said he's coming back in April.
Well, if you're researching the Philippines, a good thing to do is watch my videos. There's I know there's hundreds of videos and it'll take a long time, but you've got time really, and a lot of them are fairly short. So, and the bottom line is they're entertaining, so it's time well spent. It's not like you're going to be bored watching them. And this life vlog series, I think I started about 3 years ago now. I've been on YouTube for 10 years almost now. I'm almost up to my 10-year anniversary for YouTube.
Yay!
I started this channel in 2007, but I started this life vlog series where it shows a lot about my life, and we've been doing that for about 3 years now. So a message popped up and disappeared real quick. Someone's from the UK. I'm sorry.
Brian Thompson's coming back in May, he said. The comment right before Brian, it
disappeared really.
It just disappeared so fast. So we were not able to catch that.
I saw he's from the UK, but he said something after that. I have no idea what that is because it popped up.
Comment again so we could see it.
Sorry about that. Sorry about that.
Actually, the very first comment on this live stream, it moved so fast we were not able to read it right away because, yeah.
When you live stream from a computer, what's nice is you can kind of scroll through the comments and come back to the ones that you missed.
Jaron Patton is joining us.
Thank you. Jaron also...
Jaron Loss.
follows me on Instagram, and the past week I've been playing around with their fairly new live streaming feature on Instagram. So if you guys are into Instagram, you can follow me there. I played around with the live stream. I don't really run it like the YouTube live streams. This isn't. It says from UK, you're filming great, something like
Wow.
that.
That was
His in
so
particular.
fast.
His in particular.
Was it like
Disappear
was
really
it like Josh culture? Yeah, that particular comment just really goes away so fast.
The other
compared
ones
to the
seem to
other
stay up
comments.
for like a couple seconds before they disappear. But his.
I wonder. Cebu Perry, cool.
See, now that stayed up
You're
for probably
cool
3
for
seconds.
Yeah.
See, this is staying up for a few seconds, then it fades away and disappears. That one
Jacob
from the
Collins.
UK, it's like a second you have to read.
Well,
it.
he typed his name Jacob Collins, so that's better. Thank you
okay.
for joining us.
Thanks for joining us all the way from the UK. You guys are amazing, and support you guys all the way. Well, glad to
Thank
hear
you,
that.
Chairman Patton.
So, but
Or Peyton.
you guys can leave your comments. We might miss them though when we get talking because they disappear so quick. They need to. I don't know if there's a way to. Let me press this button here and get them to stay up.
Maybe you could click show.
That's what it's set to. My
Joshua
uncle married a
Jada.
Filipino woman and said I should marry a Filipino woman too. Well, what country are you from?
Robert
Just asking.
Tester, thank you for joining us. Charles McDonald, love the Philippines.
So his uncle married a Filipino woman and said that he should marry a Filipino woman too. I'm going to go out and say you should just marry a good woman. Hopefully above all else, you marry a good woman. You marry a woman that you love and that loves you back. And something that I want to share with you guys is in order to get love, you have to give love. And I know that can seem overly simplistic because people come up with all these situations and they'll say, "Oh, well, I loved this girl so much. She ended up cheating on me. She didn't return the love." But a lot of the times there's other factors, and a big factor would be, did you really love her, or was it something that you really wanted? You were really trying to get something out, and you maybe didn't really love her. Maybe you loved the idea of her, especially if she's a young, hot chick or something. Maybe you loved the idea of that, but did you truly love that person? Was it a selfless love without expectations? And that's a big thing that I see a lot of guys doing. They think, especially guys that come here, they think all these women should be dying to be with them and should just automatically love them. But they're not really giving the girl true love. It's kind of like, I like getting a young hot babe, but that's not true love. You really want something out. It's not a selfless kind of love.
Well, before you move on, hi to Keshen or Keishan, whatever, however you pronounce it, and Chris Allen. Thank you for joining us. See, the comments were moving fast. I was trying to memorize your names, you know.
And now there's no comments up on the screen.
And in addition to what he was saying, I think it doesn't really... Well, Filipinos or Filipinas are really known to be very loving, good people. I would say... Just like other nationalities, there could be good and bad ones as well. So one very important thing is that you really get to know the person. Both of you should know each other better, because if you don't know each other better, that could be a problem. And part of that, for you to really last in terms of relationship, is that you really accept each other and you love each other no matter what. Yeah.
Someone said you reap what you sow. Exactamundo. So, like he was saying how his uncle married a Filipino woman, and the uncle said that he should marry a Filipino woman. But I'd like to add that his uncle obviously married a very good Filipino woman. There's a lot of really terrible Filipino women, and we're going to talk about some of that in upcoming videos. There's a lot of really great Filipino women. Kind of like in the United States, I know a lot of guys are down on American women, and there's surely a lot of bad American women, a lot of women with bad attitudes in the United States. But there's also a lot of great women, of course, in the United States as well. So, Chris Allen says, my asawa is so kind and is a reflection of love. It's
Mike Gray. Is road bicycling generally safe? That's the only one that I got to read.
Maybe he has to cycle away from one of those bad women as she's trying to chase him. Hey, you get back here.
Well, you answer his question.
Is road biking safe? Well, it depends where you are. It can be very dangerous anywhere riding a bicycle because, the way people drive. I tried riding a bicycle around Koreatown in Los Angeles. That lasted about a day, and I realized, ooh, this is not safe to do it in that neighborhood with the way people drive and how some of the intersections, it's very hard to see, like, on some of the streets and what's around the corner. Just not safe. And the way people drive here in the Philippines, I don't think I'd want to ride a bicycle around the streets. Plus, a lot of the streets themselves are not particularly safe, even just to walk down. They'll just be like big holes in the street, and it won't even be like taped off or anything marked off like as a warning. There's a lot of safety's not a real big issue around these parts. So
well, it depends what part of the Philippines as well. If you want to do that in the province outside Metro Manila, where there are less, the number of vehicles is not as many as in Manila and not too crowded and all that, then you could find good areas for that. I do that in the province.
I care about my safety and my health, so I don't like to engage. Like I said, when I tried to ride a bicycle around Koreatown, it did not last long.
We did that in Singapore.
We did. Oh yeah. Our last day in Singapore, we rode a bicycle around Singapore. I think it's a lot safer around there. For one thing, just the way that the streets are designed
and they really have many people doing that. They even have designated parking areas just for bicycles.
Oh yeah, that's a very common thing in Singapore to ride bicycles.
Like for those. Okay, Robert Tester, I'm in love with the Filipino. Oh, that was so long.
Oh my goodness.
We were not even
about
able
the
to.
election in K1 visa. Oh, we're so sorry.
Bobby K.
Should I get
the laptop and try to check the comments? But you know what? If we'll use the laptop, it might slow down the internet, and this might be messed up.
Otherwise, we could watch this from like a laptop and catch all the comments.
Should we try?
Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
Well, we'll just give you a heads up. We'll try to use the laptop so we could see your comments better.
I think that's a good idea.
But it could possibly mess up the connection in this live stream.
We'll see how it goes. This is still kind of a test. But someone's asking what time it is. We have the window behind us, so let me hit the... try not to bump the microphone on mine. Let me hit the reverse on the camera and go to the back camera, and maybe you can see out my window. Let's see. The screen for me is black, but so I can't really see what you're looking at. I switched the camera on the phone, and you can see out my window there, I think, but I can't really because the way it's set up. So that's kind of the view, I think, outside my window. Like I said, unfortunately, since my screen is black, I don't know what you're looking at. You're not looking at my lovely face with like the big red, like the red sides of my face where I cut myself shaving so bad.
That's fine. You keep talking about your
So I can switch this back here in a minute. I'll switch the camera back. I'm gonna switch my back.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. I have a computer. I'm gonna try and open up the. I'm gonna try to open up the chat in a window so I can see the comments. Hopefully, this doesn't slow it down too much, since when you guys leave a comment, it seems to disappear so fast. So, and now I'm getting a bad connection signal. So maybe this is already messing up the.
Do you still hear us well? Do you still see us well? Let's try to see. Still there, guys?
Go ahead, keep them talking.
We're still here. Well, we're trying to, for those who just joined us, there's still a test using this YouTube app, using the iPhone. And like what we said earlier, we couldn't really see ourselves on the monitor. Thank you, Jaron. Is it Jaron or Jarwin?
He's from Europe. I think somewhere in Northern Europe.
Okay,
Holland
hopefully I'm pronouncing your name
what
right.
What country are you from, Jaron?
Oh, thank you. They're seeing us.
Oh, we just had a comment pop up, but let me see. I can try and...
You know what, guys? We really want to read all your comments, address your questions
They're saying
as long as we can.
Still good.
But
It
the
says,
comments are moving so fast, and we couldn't even read everything that you write. So we're trying to look at the comments on the laptop, and hopefully it doesn't affect the connection and how this live stream is going.
We got we got a lot of comments coming in very quick.
Yeah. What do you think
Collin,
about your president and his drug enforcement?
Donald Trump? That's my president.
President of the Philippines, for sure.
Duterte? I don't know. I don't really have many thoughts on it. Do you have any thoughts?
Well, we don't really talk about political issues, but as a Filipino, I look at it as, I don't know. I mean, it really depends. It's sad to know. It's actually sad to know that there are a lot of people being killed. On the other hand, I am thankful that the president it's really clear that he's doing something to, to prevent or to stop all this, illegal drug dealing and all that stuff. But Filipinos have mixed opinions and feelings about that. I hope you don't mind. I'm not just going to elaborate on that. I'm
reading your guys' comments, so that's why you see my head down.
I don't really think it froze for 5 minutes.
Try refreshing. I don't know, maybe. I don't know if this is screwing it up, opening up the stream in let me stop that. Let us know if you're still getting good video and audio and stuff.
They said yes. Maybe we could try to copy paste.
I'm trying to look at some of the comments here. Joey Galan, greetings from LA. Happy Valentine's.
Hi, Joey Galan.
We should have a special video.
Joey.
We should have a special video, and this is a short one. I know a lot of my stuff has been long lately, but we should have a special video coming out for Valentine's Day, which is tomorrow.
The day of love, but every day could be a day of love.
Robert Tester, his question that was kind of long that we couldn't see, it was, how was Trump election affected the Philippines and the K1 issues? How has the Trump, well, it seems that's a two-part question. How has the Trump election affected the Philippines? I don't think it's affected it much at all. I mean, Trump has only been president, 2 weeks now? So there's not, there's that change of making America great, and definitely he's made a lot of changes in the first week alone. I feel like Trump did more in the first week than most presidents do in 4 years, but it's only been maybe a couple weeks, 3 weeks, 2-3 weeks since he was elected. So, and also keep in mind, Trump is the president of a foreign nation. What's a foreign nation here? So it doesn't really affect the Philippines too much one way or another. But you also asked, how does that affect the K1 issues?
I don't think there's any effect on that.
As long as you're not marrying someone from Iraq or Syria, I don't think there's any effect on it whatsoever. So, for the Philippines, obviously I'm sure he's asking about a K1 visa for the Philippines. No change whatsoever right now. One thing that Trump said during one of the debates, though, was he wanted to actually speed up the immigration process when you're doing it legally, which I think makes it just makes perfect sense. So, because the way the United States seems to do it, it seems like they make things easy and reward people for doing it illegally, and they make it hard for people trying to do the right thing and do it legally. So, to me, that's the bummer. So, but you guys can keep your questions and comments coming. Let us know how if the audio and video are doing okay for you. You can keep checking in. Now I can see your comments better. Mike Gray says cycling in Baguio City would probably be excellent. So, yeah, you could give it a try. It depends where you are in Baguio City, really. You can have a lot of the same issues there. Let me see. Bobby K, it's my birthday today. Can you sing happy birthday to him? Do you want to sing?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Bobby, and to all of you who might also be celebrating their birthday today or tomorrow. Happy birthday in advance. Yeah. Wow. Hope you're having a blast on your birthday, Bobby. And let's see. I want to say...
Are things still popping up? Questions still popping up on there?
I haven't noticed. Let's see.
Yeah, you can keep with
It
your...
says bad connection.
Maybe I should shut this
and-
laptop. We can open it up again if we have another issue.
I'm getting... Hold on, let's see.
Someone says, seems like a typical Philippine internet connection. I got the same.
Oh, there are a
from-
lot of freezing, guys.
Let me shut this off. I'll close the laptop.
Hopefully it gets better.
It's closed, so we can take another look outside.
Does it show anything?
Our screen is black, so we can't see. It just shows us a black screen with an exclamation mark, and it says audio or video not available. So that's what we're seeing. But I think you can see outside my window. You guys have something on Tuesday. I'm sorry it popped. Since I closed the laptop, now the same thing. It popped up, and like a second later,
Here's what
it's
we
gone.
do. You look at the name, I'll look at the comment.
So go. You can retype that comment. Something about Tuesday.
If you can set the camera on to us again, because I'm not
Okay.
sure if they're really seeing something outside.
I think they are, but if there should have switched. No, let me see.
Okay,
now it should be on.
I
us
think we're
again.
back. See, we couldn't really see ourselves on the monitor, on the screen.
And when
clearly.
we live stream, this is I'm just going to get a little bit back farther from the camera. I have a microphone on, so it should be fine. But when we live stream, normally we don't do it. We're actually sitting on the bed right now. Normally we do it in the living room, but the light, we only have one window in here, and that happens to be in the bedroom. So it's kind of the way it is.
I'm not seeing any new comments so far. Hopefully you can still hear us.
Hopefully
and
you're getting
see
this
us
transmission
clearly.
well. So you can leave us your questions and comments. But so much of what guys want to know about that watch this channel, and something I really realized, and something we're going to be focusing more on, is guys are interested in love. They're interested in not just
Milk Sewan, I like Trump. I don't believe the fake news about him.
a lot of fake news right now.
Sorry, you're
But-
interrupted
but-
because you have to try to.
But don't worry, you're not watching CNN.
Is
We're
it
not that
Milks?
person. I don't know if you're male or female. They leave a lot of great comments on
Yeah,
all my
thank you
videos.
for that. I'm trying to figure out how to pronounce it.
And now YouTube has the new pin feature where if you have a comment that you really like, typically I'd use it on my own comments to share like the previous video or another video that's relevant. But the pin feature where if you like a comment, you can pin it so it automatically shows to the top. And I actually pinned one of their comments on one of my videos. Like I said, normally I pin my own comments on the videos, but that person, since they leave so many great comments, I pinned one of their comments on one of my videos. I can't remember which video that is. Is alien resident card possible with 1 year tourist visa?
What is
No.
the question?
Oh, yeah, he's NC. What's those cards called? Those IDs? NCR.
No,
Airs?
ACR.
The ID card. The
It's
ID card.
ACR.
He wants to get one of those with a tourist visa. Yeah, I think you have to actually. At least you used to.
I think you have to get that after a certain number of months that you have been here as a tourist visa.
It used to be like 2 or 3 months you were required to get those, or like on the first time that you extended it. I think actually.
But a resident visa cannot be given to a tourist visa holder. A resident visa, you can get a resident visa if you, a non-Filipino, is married to a Filipino citizen.
I'm trying to get a little closer to her so the mic it's clipped to me kind of in between us. So
That's one way. Unless they changed the rules, but as of the last time I checked was when?
you can't get a resident visa card if you're a tourist. But I think he's just asking about the ACR card, which, as far as I know, you're required to have one after a certain period of time. Usually you'd go in and they would require you to have, and I've been coming here on and off for so many years. I've seen so many changes over the years, but like when I used to have a tourist visa, which that's been a long time ago since I had a tourist visa. But I mean years ago actually since I had a tourist visa, literally years.
It has been they got more lenient actually, and I remember I was telling you, see, when you first came here, in the earlier years when you came here, it was shorter time that you already had to apply for the
ACR
or something, but now it doesn't really have. They just got more lenient, and that's good.
But I have a funny story. Like I said, I haven't had a tourist visa in many years. But years ago, this was like a decade ago or over a decade ago, I had a tourist visa and I had to apply for, like when I was extending it, I had to apply for one of those ACR cards. But the form they make you fill out is in the metric system. And I'm an American. Okay, I can do kilos. One kilo is 2.2 pounds, so I can do the math on that. I knew that. So that was easy. But when they get to the height and you have to list your height in centimeters, I'm like, oh boy, I have no idea what my height would be in centimeters.
And what did you
I'm
write?
an American. So I wrote down, I think I was kind of confused somehow. I think I kind of somehow confused like my height in inches and like added like another 1 to it. And when I got my card back, you took it and you looked at it, you're looking at the information on there, and you said, is this really your height? And I said, I think so, I don't know, it must be close anyways. And you took out the cell phone. This is before smartphones. This is over a decade ago. This was like maybe 2006 or something like that. So the first iPhone was released in 2007. So people didn't have, but you used the calculator, the converter, whatever it is, on your cell phone, and you did the conversion, and it said I'm 5'7".
I know.
And I'm like,
Marcus, thank you for joining us. I know, that was crazy.
my ID, so my original ACR card, my original Filipino ID said I'm 5'7", and you're like, what if they stop you? They'll be like, this isn't you. Like, but like, so that was kind of funny, like how it said I'm only 5'7".
And so when you filled out that form again for the new ID you have,
I have to like convert it with like a phone or something.
I had to make sure that it was accurate.
I don't. Yeah, I think it's accurate, my current information, but that was, it's hard for Americans going to these countries, and you have to fill, especially before like smartphones and stuff. But it's for Americans, it's hard since we use a completely, totally different system for measurements. Even like the temperature for America. It's funny. I have a friend, a Filipino friend. He immigrated to America, and he told me that the first time he flew into the United States, he flew into Los Angeles, and when you land, you know how it is on a flight, they always announce what the temperature is in the current city whatever city you're in, and they said it's like 83 degrees or something like that. And he thought, oh my God, as soon as they open up the doors, we're all going to burn to death. How can it possibly be that hot? Because, of course, in the United States, we use Fahrenheit, and most countries, like here, they use Celsius. For me, I don't know Celsius very well. I just know, because the Philippines, the weather here is so consistent, the temperature, it's over 30 degrees Celsius pretty much every day, and I know that's pretty hot. 30 degrees.
Has it been that way lately?
It's probably been upper 20s lately. Yeah, it gets over 30 even lately. It gets around that. It's at least upper 20s during the daytime here, upper 20s Celsius. But 30 degrees is 88 degrees Fahrenheit, and 88 degrees Fahrenheit, that's pretty dang hot.
You're gonna get burned.
But at least it's not 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Yes, I would definitely get burned. Like, he thought he's going to, like, he was freaking out, like, it's over 80 degrees, it's, thinks that you're going to open up the doors to the plane and everyone's going to burst into flames. So, I'm sorry if I missed some of those comments and questions, getting off on a tangent like that. How's the video and audio still playing for you guys? It's funny because we did a live stream this weekend from the computer, and I used this microphone. This is a new microphone that I bought cheap off of Amazon, had my cousin bring it out. I bought it mainly in case I want to plug something into a cell phone like this. And it worked pretty good when we did the test stream last week. It sounded pretty good on the recording that I made. I made it private. I didn't keep it up, but I made it private just so I could see and hear what it looked like. It looked pretty good. It sounded really good. But then I used this mic straight into the computer for this weekend's live stream that's still public. It's the last video uploaded. And it didn't sound near as good plugged into a computer. Mike Gray says, improved connection. Thank you for that, Mike Gray. 50 Shades of Gray, Grayer, 50 Shades of Grayer, or whatever the new one is. 50 Shades of Grey.
I have no interest to watch
AKA
that.
50 Shades of Grey, AKA the Donald Trump story.
What?
No. There's a guy I watch on YouTube. That's what he says.
I'll check something. I'll be back.
He says that these women, they really like these forceful, take charge kind of guys, and because they criticize Donald Trump because he makes lewd comments when he's talking to the guy on the bus, but then they go and they read 50 Shades of Grey, and it seems kind of hypocritical that they complain that they're so offended by this man's language and this man's behavior, but then they go home and they read 50 Shades of Grey. It's like kind of hypocritical, but he has these videos where he talks about how the lead character, Christian Grey, I believe his name is, he's like the Donald Trump is the real life version of him. So women really like Donald Trump because he's like the real life guy. That's his point in the videos that he made. Kind of funny, and I think he hits on a lot of good points, though. So I'm looking out the window right now. It's somewhat cloudy, but somewhat sunny. So Marcus Gomez says, I love you, Emma Bell. Mike Gray, I got 50 methods of gray for disappeared. I'm sorry that last comment disappeared really quick. I think it's from Rocco, if that's the name. Some of these comments, it's kind of weird too because some of the comments, they stay up longer than others. Some of them, like the one viewer from the UK, his were on literally like 1 second. Others seem to stay up for a few seconds before they disappear. So if YouTube could improve this any, I'd say add a feature where the comments don't disappear right away, where they stay up on the screen, and maybe you can scroll through them, or at least something where you have that option to do that. Like when you live stream from a computer, they stay up there, and if you miss them, you can always scroll back and get to the older comments. And we do that a lot. A lot of people, because we talk about topics, we have a set flow, a set like topics that we know we want to talk about, and some of these we really want to get into. Especially like lately, I dare I say it, Pizzagate, like we did a lot of talk about that. That requires a very in-depth conversation. if you're talking about something like that. So people are in the room live, they're leaving comments, and you can't address their comments with. I am hoping to move out there one day. Any suggestions on how to make it out there as far as living? And we're from Peter Rocco. Well, thanks for the question. That's a whole... I have a lot of videos giving tips and stuff, also just showing what it's like. If you watch my life vlog series, which I have probably close to 150 of those now, it really shows not just about me personally, some of it's just personal stuff about me, but it also shows day-to-day life, and it shows a lot of what living in this type of environment's like. So you can watch those for that aspect. And then there's other videos, which I haven't really done much lately, where it's just me talking to the camera about specific things, giving tips. Johnny Merchant says, what city are you in now? I'm in Quezon City. But there's some videos like where I just give specific tips about a lot of this stuff, where it's just me talking to the camera, giving pure information. It's not art, it's information. I think of myself as an artist, and definitely most of my videos I would consider art, but the ones where I just talk at a camera, that's just pure information. It's not art. Something like this I wouldn't consider an art. It's information and just kind of fun stuff. But I'm also going to be having a book come out in the future, like an ebook, and it's going to be a guide that really guides you and gives you tips. Now, it's not going to actually, do everything for you. Some things you can't really get information from a video or a book. You just got to go there and you got to do it for yourself, and you're going to make mistakes no matter what. I can give you a guide, I can give you a book that gives you lots of tips and makes things a little easier on you, but a lot of things you're really just going to have to do it. I remember before I moved to Los Angeles, I bought a book for people that want to move to Los Angeles, specifically for people that want to move to Los Angeles and become an actor. And the book I paid, I think, $15 or $20 for, but it was invaluable. It just saved so much time and money for me. And like, what would, as far as a good source of income for a U.S. person to earn a living? UK, have you ever been?
Okay. Well, keep that in mind. Try to continue your...
Well, what would be a good source of income? This is a kind of a hard question because that's all...
Oh, you already answered it.
Oh.
I thought you were going to keep discussing what you were just talking about when you moved to LA, and then let's address
okay,
the
well,
questions.
finish that. Well, I bought a book that was a guide for people that want to move to Los Angeles and be an actor, and helps you get your foot in the door. And the book was just... It saved so much time and money on my half. Now, it's not going to make people move to Hollywood and make them a huge star, especially in a year, but it's going to help you get your foot in the door, guide you so you know what to do. That's what this book did for me. And from telling you what areas you should live in if you want to be an actor, where the auditions are going to be, to giving just so much information. I paid only $15 or $20, but that book saved me hundreds, probably thousands of dollars. That book saved me, and I only paid $15 or $20 for it. It is one of the best things I've ever done for myself in my entire life. That's before I moved to Los Angeles. And then he asks, the question was, what is a good job to make a living?
It really depends
for a U.S. person.
It really depends on you.
Exactly. It depends on you without knowing your skills or talents. But I'm guessing that for you, it's going to be something where you do something on a computer. And there's a lot of different types of jobs these days.
Patrick said he's coming to Manila in a few weeks. That was so fast, we were not able to finish your comment.
He wants a restaurant recommendation. But we'll get to that in a minute. So for you, you're probably not going to be able to do most of the stuff that I do for a living, because we have different skills and talents. We're blessed with different things. I'm blessed with things that you don't have. You're blessed with some things I'm sure that I don't have. So you're going to have to tailor it for you. But for you, basically, you're probably going to have to find a way to make money from your computer, from a laptop. That's and there's a lot of things out there, but that's such a broad topic. that's something that could be discussed in an entirely different stream or something like that. And we had a question, have I ever been to the UK? No, but I've been watching a lot of James Bond movies lately. The ones with Roger Moore. I've been watching a lot of the Roger Moore James Bond movies, and he's so cool. Like, you know, I'm an American, he's a Brit, and of course we're different, but it just seems so cool when it's James Bond doing it.
UK.
It's just kind of like, man, these British guys can just be so dang cool when you see Roger Moore like in those movies. But I've been watching a lot of those James Bond movies. She's getting a phone call. I've been watching a lot of those James Bond movies, and no, I've never been to the UK, but I'd love to go sometime if the opportunity ever comes up. It's funny, I did an interview for a magazine over there in England, over there in Britain, and they did an interview. They said they got a lot of requests to have me interviewed, so then they did an interview, but no. So I had this pictorial and interview in some British magazine. This is around 2008, so it's been a while, like something like 9 years ago now. Hard to believe it's been that long, actually. I did this like whole special photo shoot, then an interview, and they actually sold the magazine in the US too. Like, you could go into Borders and Barnes & Noble, and they had the magazine even though it was a British magazine. It's kind of interesting because it was an oversized magazine too, like big. It was like an art magazine, so it was almost like a book, like, and like this huge pictorial. It was really awesome. But that was from the UK. But no, I've never been to the UK, and that actually really got me curious. I'm like, well, if people like me over there that I don't even know about, like, maybe it'd be interesting to make a trip over there. Is there a lot of work in construction there? Are you a construction worker, Johnny? We had a question, is there a lot of work in construction? Well, I'm an American, I'm not from here, but I can definitely answer this question. And the answer to the question is yes. There's tons of work in construction here. There's so many new condo buildings being built. There's malls being built. There's all this development happening here. So there's lots of work in construction here. In fact, we had to move out of the old apartment because the mall was expanding, and they were expanding right up to outside our window. If you saw my birthday video from last year, you saw what was right outside my window. It was just constant noise because of the construction that literally went right up to within like a few feet of the window. And so we moved about that. But yeah, there's lots of work in construction here. But here's the kicker. You're probably not going to want to do it. I don't know what country you're from, Johnny, and I don't know that I'm not sure what country you're from, Johnny. I'm not sure if you work construction in your country, but if you do work construction in your country, you probably make a lot more money than a construction worker would make here, and you probably don't work near as hard, and you probably have a lot more safety regulations than a construction worker would have here. So, good question. Yeah, there's lots of work in construction, but I'm sure you're not going to want to do it.
I think the more lucrative part of the construction business here would be the contractors themselves.
Yeah, you'd have to be a contractor.
Yeah.
Contractor, and you're probably not going to be able to do that if you're from another country.
I'm not so sure how much the construction workers are paid, but
you can be sure
I have a feeling that hopefully they could be paid more because of the hard work they do.
And they work unbelievably hard.
Plus the machinery, like the equipment they use, I think they could be advanced, but I think it's still more advanced in whichever country you are. And Marcus Gomez is coming to the Philippines as well.
Another thing that I would like to say about the construction question is, I was just checking the microphone. Another thing that I'd like to say about the construction question, the construction workers, they work so hard, and they work really hard, really long hours, probably often over 12 hours a day. And a lot of the times they don't leave the construction site. They literally sleep there and don't even have a bed. They'll just lay on something and go to sleep. Saw Filipinos burn USA flags to...
Really?
I didn't see the rest of the comment.
I haven't seen any. I haven't seen the news lately.
He
so
said
I
he's
should check it
seen
out.
Filipino people burn U.S. flags in the Philippines. Like you saw a video of people in
Oh,
the
that's
Philippines.
possible. Protesters, perhaps.
It's possible, but I was just telling him
But
about.
they don't represent the entire population, Filipino, Philippine population.
If you see someone doing that here, they represent next to no one. It's like there's trust me, the anti-American sentiment. There's not. I mean, it has ramped up a little bit in the past few months. I would say definitely, but there's still not a lot of people in the general population that are on board with that. So people here love America. People here, they love other countries, especially Western countries. But the one they love the most, and it only makes sense, of course, is the USA. And the USA, they have all these Hollywood movies. People here, if Captain America or something like that comes out here, you can be sure that the theaters are going to be full of people going to that. People love those Hollywood blockbuster movies. They love American music. They love American television. They love American culture. And as do they anywhere, I think, just because our entertainment industry penetrates every other culture. But also keep in mind the Philippines actually used to belong to the United States for about 50 years. So even though it was a long time ago, late 1800s to after World War II, there's still like some of that. There's still a lot of American influence and or culture. Just think about it. They got their system of government and education from the United States. And there's two official languages in this country. One of them they got from the United States, English. English is one of the two official languages. The other language being, of course, Filipino. So now you know, and a lot of Filipino people wouldn't even know that. First of all, I don't think most of them would even know that there really is two official languages of this country. We did a video, a man on the street video, that was very funny. They couldn't even correctly name the official language of the Philippines, even after you say, other than English, what's the name of the official language of the Philippines? People couldn't even name it, the majority of people.
Well, the accurate name of the language in the Philippines, the national language aside from English, is Filipino. But many people, even highly educated ones, still refer
I don't know about
to it.
highly educated.
Or maybe not. Okay, fine.
Some,
But professionals still refer to it as Tagalog. It's on 1987 Constitution, I think, when
No, they
hold
changed
on.
it. It was
It was-
originally. It's never been called Tagalog. It originally was Filipino with a P, and then like I believe the 70s they changed it to Filipino with an F because they added some letters to the language and some other
we
words.
have
One
letters,
of the letters was F that they
we
added.
have letters from the English alphabet like F. We have Nye from Spanish. So they made it Filipino. So the language actually is Filipino, not Tagalog. Tagalog is a
There
dialect.
is a language, a dialect.
A
yes.
dialect spoken in
Central Luzon.
Yes, in areas in Luzon.
By-
Not all areas of Luzon.
Yeah, by an ethnic group called the Tagalogs.
But people tend to refer to Filipinos Tagalog. But what we're just trying to share with you, you could start referring to the language as Filipino because that's what's accurate.
And what is Tagalog? What is the literal meaning of Tagalog?
Tagalog actually
people
is derived.
by the river?
Taga is from the phrase taga ilog,
Yes.
like from the river, or those
by
who
the river.
live by the
yeah,
river.
those that live by the river.
Yeah, but
Did you know that I knew that's what that
yes,
Okay.
because Travis
just
knows a
checking,
lot.
'cause I know a lot.
He's so good in history and all that. There are even things that I don't know that he knows, especially with
yeah.
Philippine, culture and stuff. But of course, I know better too. Anyways.
Well, I know much more than the average Filipino
History, in
about their
terms of history.
about a lot of things of their culture. So, and a lot of them don't realize that you can understand it better than they can, even if you're originally from another country. And I can totally see as an American how someone that's not from the United States but immigrates there, I can totally see how they would know the history of the United States better and know a lot of the things about America more than people that are born and raised in America. I can totally see how someone from outside could know it better. So, and I think that's the case. I think a lot of Europeans that come over and immigrate and stuff, I think that they do know the United States history better than your average American, and they just know a lot of things about our culture and facts better than people that live there their entire lives. So that's just the way it works out. But if I was on like some sort of trivia game show or historical quiz, and you had me competing against average Filipinos, I think most of the time I'd blow them away.
Ooh.
And that's not being cocky. That's just saying the truth, man. And a lot of them, I don't think, could even accept that. I don't think most of them could accept like that. A lot of them, they can't comprehend that someone that's originally an outsider, originally from another place, could actually know it better. I didn't go to school here. They did, but it's kind of funny. It's like
An example is, some comments on the Man on the Street video, Man on the Street interview that we did about, the one you mentioned, asking Filipinos what's the national language of the Philippines aside from English. They really insist that it's Tagalog and it's not Filipino. Like, come on. I mean,
it's like you can just look it up online. Look it up.
I know. The first time I learned about that was in high school because that was part of our Filipino lesson. I'm so thankful to our Filipino teacher. She's really good, and this is the first time I learned that. So every time I encounter my fellow Filipinos referring to the language as Tagalog, I'm like, did you not have it in your Filipino class at least?
It's funny, a number of years ago in Los Angeles, I had a friend that his parents are from the Philippines. They immigrated from the Philippines to the United States. And I said, like, he said something about, somehow we got on the topic, and he said it's Tagalog. He's like, trust me, man, the name of the official language is Tagalog. Trust me, my parents are from there. You're not from there. You're an American. You don't know. And I'm like, no, dude, look it up. Trust me, it's Filipino. Look it up. I know what I'm talking about. And he's like, no, there's no way that you could know this better than me. He kept insisting. And then I saw him a day later, and he said, hey, I looked it up. It turns out you're right about that. So that was kind of funny the way that worked out. But he was so insistent. He was saying, my parents are from there. There's no way you could know this more than me. And I'm like, trust me, man, just look it up. Just go on Google, go on the internet, look it up. And then the next day when I saw him, he's like, hey, I did look it up, and you were right. So, as always, like I said, this is not a fake news outlet that you're watching. This is not CNN. This is not Fox. This is not MSNBC LGBTQ that you're watching. It's a fake news channel in the United States. You don't need to worry about it. I don't think they even show it here.
The sun seems to be hiding.
It's getting a little cloudier.
Yeah.
So let me switch the camera around and let's see, give them a look. A look out there. It's getting a little cloudier. But when I woke up this morning, I actually went out and I went out in the sunlight before 8 a.m. I watched a YouTube video that said that's a good thing to do. Get some sunlight early in the morning. It'll help you get a better night's sleep that night. So, and I'm trying to go. Imabel disappeared. Where did she go? Imabel! Where are you? I'm just kidding. We've been going for almost an hour, so we will wrap this up soon. So,
speaking of staying under the sun, I'm so thankful that Travis did it earlier, because when I was growing up, I know the sunlight between 6 to 9 a.m. is the healthy sunlight for us. But he goes on like even at noontime, and he said it's still nutritious.
But you get when the sun is stronger and around noon.
No, they say because that's not healthy anymore. Like between.
That's what they say. Who are you going to listen to? The fake news?
No,
or me that's telling you all this.
What do you think, guys? You know what I mean?
Peter Rocco says, "Can I contact you with questions?" I do consulting. There, just go to find out how it works. Just go to my official website, traviscraft.com. Go to the contact page, and it explains how it works for you. So just go to traviscraft.com, click the contact page, and it explains how it works. So, but yeah, I think I had vitamin D deficiency a while ago, and then going under the sun really helped me out. They say about over 30% of Americans are deficient in vitamin D. And I totally believe, especially during the winter time, but you think about most people work in offices, or even we're all covered up, and especially if most people work from early in the morning to when the sun starts going down or starts weakening. So get some vitamin D. That's a good tip. It can change your life. It can put you in a better mood. It can cure what's ailing you, possibly.
Yeah.
So that's the tip of the day. Get some.
I don't get vitamin D at noontime to like 3 p.m. though.
So get some vitamin D. It'll probably enhance your mood. Getting vitamin D, make you a happier person. And when you're happy, you do everything better. I know a lot of artists. They say, "Oh, my pain and depression helps me create my art, man." And that could be true for some people. I can't say what their process is. I know I do my best work when I'm happy and in a good mood. That's when I'm my most creative and artistic. But a lot of these artists that say that, oh, I get my pain and my depression inspires my art, helps me create, it makes me creative. These people that say that, you'll notice a lot of them, they're drug addicts, they're heavy drinkers, they're alcoholics. And it's not the pain that's helping them release their art more so. I think it's, or these same people that say, hey, drugs help them be creative, drugs or alcohol. But is what the drugs or alcohol, it's not the drugs creating the art. It's the drugs kind of numb their pain, numbs their depression, and gets them in a little bit more elevated, happier state so it can release their creativity from inside. So that's what the drugs do. It just helps put them in a better mood, helps put them in a better state. It numbs that pain, it numbs their depression. Not a good way to deal with pain and depression, but that's what they're doing, whether they realize it or not, I think. It's not the drugs helping them be creative, it's just the drugs are helping them get in a better mood, that's all. And there's probably other ways, healthier ways you could get in a better mood a lot of the time.
Oh, they get dependent on it, so that's not healthy.
So I don't think you need drugs to be a good artist. That's a bunch of nonsense. Now, I mean, it's not like I've tried it, so I can only speak from my own experiences and maybe for some people, but I really don't buy into that. I don't believe that drugs make the artist.
Let's say hi to Jack and Abith. Jack is
Hi,
part
Jack.
of our Patreon family. Yeah, they're watching.
Yes, thanks for supporting us on Patreon, because I have to buy equipment. I have a lot of expenses running this channel, and that helps support it. Even like just buying this cheap microphone. I need to buy some more microphones, actually. There's other stuff I need to get. We have expenses running this. That all really helps us, and there's worse ways to spend money than supporting independent artists. As I was saying, if you want to get love, you have to give love. And a form of giving love is giving money. You can't be so tight with it. You know, if everyone just chipped in and did a little bit and supported an independent artist, they would be fine to do that. You know, think of it like buying me a coffee or buying me dinner maybe every month. You know, just go to our Patreon. I'll put the link in the description after this. So we should wrap it up. I'm trying to end this before an hour.
And also,
I'm trying
in
to keep this
addition
short.
to that, every day we get tons of emails from the viewers from all parts of the world, asking for travel tips and just different kinds of questions. So, with the Patreon family, it is easier for us to know who to prioritize first, especially in addressing their questions. And of course, the Patreon family comes first, and the consultation that he mentioned is also another way. Because as much as we would love to address all the questions we get, but we couldn't spend the entire day on that, because we also have to be productive and work on other things.
Yeah, we have jobs, we have to work, so people don't realize when, that a lot of this stuff, like trying to email back and forth, it takes a lot of your time, and we both have to work and make a living. So I'm trying to cut this off before we reach an hour, because that was the goal. Not
And
to
the
make this
battery
go
is
forever.
running low.
And the battery is running low on this phone, actually. We're having notifications pop up saying that it needs to be charged. So thanks, guys.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for joining us. We will try and do this more often. I hope you guys enjoyed it. You guys can leave your comments. Let us know what you thought. Hopefully this video and audio played well for you. We're out. We're going to start our day now.
Have a blessed week ahead.
And we will see you. We're dropping an awesome new video tomorrow. for V-Day. All right. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.